Hi, I'm Mark Chaplin. I'm the lead designer of Lifeform, the board game. Now, this is a survival horror game that is team-based, in that one team is the utterly hostile, almost invincible alien creature, and the other team is the crew of a doomed mining starship, and that would form the other 1 to 3 players. The game plays up to 4. Now, what is different about this game compared to other games? Well, it has a hidden movement system, but what is different about that in comparison to basically the giants in the field of hidden movement? Now, the ones that immediately spring to mind are Fury of Dracula, which is in this room, actually. Last Friday, which you probably haven't heard of. That's an Ares game, a slasher game, and the Whitechapel series. There's a couple of different iterations of that. Apologies to any other hidden movement games that I haven't mentioned. Now, and Scotland Yard, of course, that just popped in there. That's basically the grandfather of those. And I just thought of another one. This video is just going to be a long list of games that inspired the design of this. Also, you've got Hunt for the Ring, which is another Ares game. Now, one of the common complaints I hear about games like Fury of Dracula and its ilk is that there is a lot of stress in playing the evil role, whichever that may be, in that you've got bookkeeping, and also the stress is if you screw up, you've completely blown the whole game for everybody. So you've got that hanging over you the whole time. You've got to bookkeep, you've got to make sure you haven't screwed up, you've got to look at the board and not give away where you are. Now, that's not a problem for me. You know, if we play Fury of Dracula or that, I'm happy for that to happen, but that's just a complaint that some people have about games of that kind. Now, the unique thing about Lifeform is it has hidden movement, but it's in plain sight, in that you've got basically dummy positions on the board. These are sensor ghosts. The idea is that the crew player's point of view, looking at the board, is basically they've got scanners, heat scanners, or scanners that detect microscopic changes in air density, scanners. They've got a schematic of the starship, and that's pinpointing where they are and where this hostile organism is. Now, the way the game works, the alien Lifeform player is moving both its true net form about the board, but also various sensor ghosts, and it can have up to 3. But crucially, there's only ever one threat. No matter how powerful the alien gets, it never multiplies, has children, or you know, it doesn't multiply like the Thing. It doesn't do any of that. There's only ever one. If there's more sensor ghosts, that's bad for the crew, but it doesn't mean there's more aliens. And the crew are never quite sure which sensor blip is the true threat. 1 or 2 of the blips may be bluffs, but one is always the alien. Now, there's certain points, inflection points in the game, where there's a recalibration of which is the true threat. Now, the alien can do that every time it kills a crew character. There's a what we call in the rules a reality calibration, and after the death of the crew, the alien repositions the sensor ghosts and decides who is the which blip is the true threat again. But also, here comes the fun bit. The crew players have got switch an alien icon on some of their crew cards, and that allows them to not change who the true threat is, but change the ghosts around. Now you think, what's he talking about? That's without seeing a setup, that might confuse you. But basically, you're in a position, and this has happened so many times, and obviously a very canny alien player can play this to up to the hilt and trick the crew. That's part of why the whole system is in there. You'll have an alien blip, charging, or creeping slowly towards a crew player who's trying his best to get off or away from the alien, and he doesn't know whether it's the real thing or just a sensor ghost. And so one of the other players, or helpfully, play a card that goes, hey, I'm swapping which one is the threat. But what they don't know is, have they actually helped, or have they their fellow crew member, or have they made things worse? And the amount of times they made things worse is incredible. I find it hilarious every time it happens, obviously, and no doubt your mileage may vary, but as an alien player, there's an awful lot of satisfaction to be gleaned from moving a bluff aggressively and then having the crew change the bluff, thinking that it isn't, and then realizing their mistake too late. So that is one of the unique selling points of Lifeform. It's got a hidden in plain view bluff system for the alien, and we'll talk about other aspects of the game in another video, I guess.